Hello and welcome, it's Neil Dougan here, and if you're watching this video you are most likely somebody who is either struggling with your weight or somebody who is struggling to have enough energy in the day, or perhaps you're somebody with an acute disease. So no matter which of those three categories describe you, or indeed if you might actually be somebody who could actually place yourself in all three of those categories, then what I've got to tell you about is going to be very exciting and could be the opportunity that you've been looking for to actually have a completely new life. You've probably seen my advertising material and you'll be asking yourself the question, is it possible? Is it actually really possible to lose weight and become far more healthy, have far more energy without making any specific changes to your diet or any specific changes to your exercise? So you're asking yourself the question, what if? What would it be like to actually have the kind of life where you're not driven by concerns and cares about what's going on with your diet, concerns and cares about what's happening with your exercise, not having to drive yourself to go for a run or to take yourself to the gym, unless of course you like going to the gym and running, in which case great, bring it on. However, unless you're actually blessed with that kind of motivation that wants to take you to the gym or to take you for running, and unlike me, I have absolutely no inclination to be doing those things either, then what we're going to talk about, which is how we can actually get your mind and all the mind aspects of your entire system operating in such a level of efficiency that your body will take care of all of these issues. So just take a moment to actually imagine what that would be like. What would a life be like where you're not actually concerned about every mouthful of food that you're taking, that you don't have to feel as though you've got to plan every meal, that you don't feel as though you have to actually get yourself out of bed at 5 o'clock in the morning to take yourself to the gym. So just take a moment and actually imagine what a life would be like where you didn't actually have to do those things to end up with the body of your dreams. Now, you may well be sitting there watching this video and thinking, well, maybe I should be doing those things and perhaps it would be different in my life. But you know it, I know it, that it's just not going to happen. It's not going to actually happen that you're going to be able to sustainably, week after week, month after month, year after year, actually hold yourself to all of these restrictive diets and these restrictive and unusual energy usage systems, like going to the gym or taking a run or whatever it is that you like to do. So just imagine what a life would be like without having to be either feeling guilty that you're not doing these things, or that you actually are doing it and you feel terrible about the fact that you're having to do it, and you feel terrible about all the denial that you're actually committing to yourself. So what would a life be like where you didn't have to do those things? Well, these questions completely plagued me about 5 years ago at the time of making this video, so you may well be seeing this video considerably later. And at the time I was 106 kilos, which for a person of my height is pretty heavy, and I decided that I needed to do something about this. I was in the process of actually choosing a PhD research program, and I thought, well, why not? Why not actually have a look at the consciousness of healthy weight and see what could be done to actually tackle this problem. This very problem we're talking about, the problem of I really don't like taking myself to the gym, and I really don't like having to watch every single mouthful that I'm taking. So these were the questions that I was asking, and I was saying, what if? What would be possible? So 5 years on, I have a stable weight now of mid-70s kilos, so around about 30 kilos less than I had when I was at my heaviest, and it fluctuates a little bit, which it should do. So your weight should fluctuate 1 or 2 kilos up and down, and depending on what's going on, the seasons of the year, what's happening in your life in terms of the life things that are going on for you. But generally speaking, I'm staying in the mid 70s of kilos. So like, it's a very, very reduced weight to what I was. I do not do anything very specific with my diet at all. I just eat whatever I want to eat, and I don't do anything specific with my exercise. If I feel like going for a walk, I go for a walk. If I feel like going for a bike ride, I go for a bike ride. But it's not very far, and it's certainly not a huge amount of exercise taken. I love to be active and go for walks in the bush and that type of thing, but I do it because I love it. These are things, and I was doing the same thing when I was 106 kilos. So my exercise has not changed since I was 106 kilos to now, when I'm about 74 kilos. So today, today's weight, I'm about 74 kilos. So 32 kilos lost, and I'm still not changing anything about what I'm doing with eating. I'm still not changing anything about what I'm doing about my exercise regime. So in the original research, we worked with a whole lot of obese people, and we got lots of information, and year upon year since that time, I've been refining and really drilling into what really counts in terms of consciousness, and how the consciousness can actually change what's going on in your body. So we're talking about everything in your body, all the changes that can be occurring right from the very top to the very bottom, from the most outward expression of the systems of the body, the mind and all that type of thing, all the way down to how the cells are actually functioning. And so we worked on this very, very extensively. We drilled right into what was making the cells react in the way that they're doing, what was making all the minds actually work in the way that they're working. And so the result is TRIM. And TRIM in action, you know, I'm a living proof of exactly what we're talking about. Somebody who enjoys life immensely, gets about all the day-to-day activities, and doesn't focus on food at all, doesn't focus on exercise at all either. And my general health has improved dramatically. So I had many psychological issues going back 10 years ago, depression, anxiety, mainly those types of things. All of that's, you know, hugely improved, absolutely hugely improved. Far more optimistic character, get about my daily life, as I say, with great joy, and you know, I wake up in the morning looking forward to, you know, whatever else the life, you know, my life is going to actually present to me. So I hope that what I've been talking about this very personal experience that I've had, and you know, you're very welcome to have a look and have a look at what we're doing here with TRIM, and to, you know, have conversations with other people who have actually been part of the program as well, and just see how their experiences match up with what I'm talking to you about. And I really hope that it actually gives you some encouragement to try and work out or see your way into how this type of approach, the approach of the mind, can actually work for you. So what I want to talk about now is some of the ways that TRIM actually works. So, you know, for a start, how do you actually get involved in TRIM? Well, there's a button on the page of this video, or a link to it if you're watching this on YouTube. There's a link to somewhere where you can go and actually get more information, or indeed to actually join up. So we have, it's very, very simple to do. It's very simple to actually get involved in this this change. So what are the demands on you? I can hear you asking this question. So what does it take? What does it actually take to make these types of changes? Well, you do need to have a level of commitment. There's no question about that. You need to have a level of commitment, but your commitment is to the health of your entire system. The commitment isn't to a diet. The commitment isn't to you know, a specific exercise program, or a combination of the other, but the commitment is to yourself. And to honor that commitment to yourself, what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to follow the program. What does following the program actually involve? Following the program involves listening to an audio every day. Now, you don't have to do that for the rest of your life, but certainly for while all of these consciousness changes are occurring, you're going to need to listen to an audio every day. And the audios are all part of the program, and you can download them onto iTunes, and you can wander about the place with your headphones on, or your, you know, your little pods in your ears as well, little buds rather. And it's very, very simple, and all you have to do is actually just listen to this information. The information is incredibly carefully crafted subliminal messaging. So there's a nice relaxing track going on, and sitting underneath the nice relaxing track is the subliminal messaging, and the messaging is going in and it's making changes to how your minds are operating, how your physical body is operating, and also how all of the subtle energy systems that make you up are operating. So the subliminal messaging is working on all of these levels, and that's why these chronic conditions, no matter what the chronic conditions that you're suffering from, very, very likely to be targeted by the TRIM program, because we are looking at creating a far more highly efficient and effective system right from the cell all the way up to the minds and all the subtle energy systems that make you up. There's also a bunch of other resources in there as well. For each of the modules, and at the time of writing there's 17 modules, and for each of them there is a range of videos and access into webinar type of material, plus some written material. Of course there's the ebook that you can read as well, and which I need to update, of course, with all this new information that keeps coming. But there's plenty of information there actually inside the program. The key thing is to listen to these audios, one audio each day of the week during the 17 weeks of the program as it stands at the moment. And then well, I know what will happen, because this is what happens for all of the other people that have been involved in the program, is that they tell me that they keep getting drawn back to certain of these audios. So the audios are on very specific topics, and they find themselves being drawn back to one or other of these audios, because it has specific impact actually on their system. So that's what's in the box. In the box there's a whole lot of videos, there's a whole lot of audio material, a lot of written material to follow. You have to make the commitment to listen to the audios, you have to make the commitment to watch the videos, and other than that, your body, your system, your minds will take care of the rest. So it's on autopilot. Everything is actually happening within your system, and you have to process what's coming up, and there'll be information coming up about yourself which you'll probably want to share through our communities, through webinars and that type of thing as well. But it'll naturally occur. There's not going to be any obligation to do any of these things. So I really hope you click the button below this video, or on the link if you're watching this on YouTube, and follow your way through and make the commitment to actually look after yourself. So the commitment obviously involves a financial commitment. We do have a 12 easy pay over a space of a year, once a month type of option for you if money's tight. So make the commitment. I look forward to helping you. Thank you for watching. Bye.